Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Brothers Take podcast. I'm Chris, and I am joined again by my brothers, Adam
Hello.
and Eric.
Hello.
We are back in the room to talk more gaming, and in this week's episode, our main topics are going to be E3 has been cancelled this year, and there is a discussion online about whether it's gone forever. So we'll discuss that. Is E3 dead? Is it gone forever? Will it ever come back? And then the other thing we're going to talk about as a follow-up to last week's episode, the timing was kind of unfortunate. We were speculating, will a Project Spartacus drop? And then literally the next day, here it is. Oh, so we're going to react to the fact that it has been revealed what it actually was, the three-tiered system for the new PlayStation Plus, and give our thoughts on what we think of those tiers. What we maybe hope to see from them, and do we think it's something that we would jump in on ourselves, as well as a few other topics to come up. But we'd also love to hear from you guys as we discuss everything today. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please feel free to jump down into the comments at any point to share your thoughts on anything that we bring up throughout the discussion. And if you enjoy this discussion, why not give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell so you're aware of all future episodes. We'd really appreciate the support. And if you listen to us on audio platforms, then you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take to give your take on everything we bring up to here today. But without further ado, let's talk about more gaming. Okay, so let's start with the E3 thing, right? Just because I think it's interesting. Let's jump right off the bat with that. Also, actually, I want to give a shout out to the guys at Last Call Gaming, because they just put out at time of recording. I just seen that they put out their episode, and actually they're covering a lot of the same topics, and they do happen to cover a lot of the same topics that we do because we release episodes weekly. And I have a lot of similar interests. But they actually gave us a shout out as well in their episode over an April Fool's joke. So really appreciate the shout out. And go check those guys out because they have an awesome podcast and they release episodes weekly, much like us. Plus, it's interesting to get other takes on a similar topic. You know, people sometimes feel differently on these things. So it is interesting to get more and more takes. So do check them out. We'll link them in the description, both on the audio platforms and on YouTube. But let's start with E3. It has been cancelled.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a podcast recently where the two guys were actually having, and the podcast was about a year ago. It was when E3 was, it was going to be digital. Remember, it was digital last year.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
But they were having, one of them was like, "Nah, E3's dead, guys. It's dead. It's dead." And the other one was like, "It's not dead. It's not dead. Shut up. Fuck you." And he's like, "No, it's dead. It's dead." And that was kind of the ongoing joke throughout. And he was like, on a serious note, though, when do you think E3 is coming back? And he was like, "It's not, man. It's dead. It's dead." Okay. Is it? Is it dead?
I'd say, yeah, probably, and not because there's no reason for an E3. E3 is always fun, and every year, we talked about before how like fun it is to like kind of wait for it to come out, and it's like our Super Bowl essentially. You know, it's the equivalent of that, but I think the other like the Summer Games Fest, the amount of other shit that happens, it's E3 used to be the only one like in the summer, but now there's like everyone has one. You know,
which is a pity because that was the main one. That was the main one.
Yeah, it is and it isn't. I think E3 always had like the coolest setup, right? And then you had the different times, and it's like who won E3. I don't know, that a lot of people didn't like that because it like sparks the controversial kind of comments of console wars and stuff like that. But I think that's where the fun is. But anyway,
Adam loves the console war thing.
Yeah,
I do.
I hated the console war.
But it's like, you know, it always existed. It was always the thing. It was always like,
my
band, like the band I like is better than the band you like, and
yeah, and it's the it's the slight sportsmanship as well. It's
Yeah.
I support this
Just
team.
don't
No,
take
your
it
team
seriously,
sucks.
right? It's only bad when people take it seriously, but no one's going out burning cars over this thing. It's not like in other hobbies it gets a little bit more serious. But in this,
there's
is
no
just,
Green Street movie about like World of Warcraft.
Yeah. But the console wars has always been a thing since fucking consoles started. It was always like Nintendo Sega thing, right? But that's what pushes the innovation. I think if the companies are like, look, we can hear the crowd are like not happy about this or they're preferring the other platform. Like we need to get our shit together. And so the whole who won E3 thing. I mean, Xbox wouldn't be where they are today if it wasn't for the way PlayStation came out and humiliated them on stage with the PS4 announcement. You know what I mean? Like right. Or same with like the PS4 wouldn't have been great if it wasn't for Xbox 360 coming out and humiliating PS3 on stage. There's a benefit to it, and I get like some people like may be bullied, I guess, or feel bullied by the whole conversation, but look, it's not real, so it doesn't matter. Like, just chill out, like. But I always thought that the setup for E3 was one of the better, like, in that kind of setup. But now it's like everything feels disjointed. It's like, okay, if I want to check out a game, which one am I watching? Is it going to be future game show? Is it going to be that publisher's dedicated show? Is it going to be like where is everything? Some things might happen now at the same time because they're trying to take audiences from another platform or something like that. Whereas that was like a dedicated, right, one event, here's everything. Mm-hmm. So, but the disadvantage of E3 was always that they charged a humongous amount of money for publishers to show their demonstrations. Which is why I think the likes of PlayStation and Nintendo specifically, and Nintendo left E3 a long time ago, is that they could do their own thing and not have to pay money. Like,
and I don't think. You see, here's the thing. Like last summer, there was like too many showcases and everything was stretched across, and it was like, which one do I watch? Which one do I tune into? Which is like the main thing to like get all my announcements. Come this summer, there's going to be less because there's no E3. And next summer, there probably will only be one. So we'll be back to one showcase. It's just that there's going to be this exchange of power or ownership of who's showing the showcase.
Yeah, it'll be head over to Jeff Keighley, basically.
Well done, Jeff. He put out literally an hour after E3 was officially cancelled. He put out a tweet, and all it was
a winky face.
A winky face. He was like, I gotcha. And then he announced Summer Game Fest is coming back this summer.
Yeah.
And I think there's a couple of things. It probably is like the publishers don't want to have to pay humongous money to showcase their games when they can opt to do it in another way or maybe even on their own terms. But also, from what I've heard, people like working with Jeff. They want to work with him. So he has possibly just created an environment where people are like, I would rather show at that than show at that. And I wonder as well, like one of the benefits, I suppose, of E3 for the journalists and reviewers and stuff was the ability to play demos like at the showcase, right? So that element might be gone, but at the same time, and maybe we'll get into it more when we're looking at like what Project Spartacus actually is. I wonder if it's going to be a case of like there's going to be more demos that are digital and online to play.
Yeah, I think they have an opportunity to really extend how many people could get a hands-on with it. I think they kind of touched on that a little bit with Game Awards and stuff like that, didn't they? Where they're like, and the demo's available now. With certain games.
They did that.
Yeah.
So
that was always a big like, and we're excited to announce you can play it right now. And like he's big into that as well. He's so passionate as well. I like Jeff. I gotta say.
Yeah, he's
so
good.
passionate.
He's good. I wish liked him to clean up the whole show though. It tends to drag.
You don't need that many world premiere screens.
No, or even
not necessary.
Or even the music side of things. Like I think there could be like a main show, a pre-show, and a post-show. So like if you wanted to get more into like the music side of things, because music does play a huge role in gaming, and I think they want to just showcase that as well. Which that's fair, but I think there could be different segments as to where.
But he wants to treat the in particular, I suppose, at the Game Awards, he wants to treat it like the Oscars, right?
Right. Well,
Well, then you need to get a slap in the face.
Do you know what? In a few minutes for the crack, we'll talk about the Oscars in a moment, but not that actually. Well, we can talk about that, but there's actually something else I think is worth bringing up. But anyway, we'll get to that in a minute. It's not a main topic today, but since we brought it up. But Eric, do you think E3 is only gone this year because maybe there's not enough people around? Do you think it'll come back next year?
Yeah, well, I didn't really think E3 was doing that badly that it would need to be permanently cancelled. You know, I didn't really know that the viewership rating was dropping or that people were pulling out. Like, it's not like the Oscars. We're actually gonna just use that as a going off point. Like, for the last 2 or 3 years, possibly more, the Oscar viewership was going down loads. So they constantly had to try to do something to, like, you know, get people up. So here, Will.
Well done, Will.
Yeah, go slap that guy in the face there, Will. Go on there now. But I didn't know E3 was doing that badly. But then if they are overcharging kind of the public, well, not overcharging, but if they're charging them a lot, like a bit much, that they're a bit like, well, come on, I actually need this money to make a game and feed my family. So, you know, if like could be like it could be. I don't know too much information. They haven't really released that much information about why it was cancelled, did they? It's cancelled.
Just said it's cancelled, yeah.
Yeah,
I do think that there's a very good chance it won't get back on its feet, and maybe the organizers of it will try to come up with something else. But just given that, say it's cancelled this year because they just can't figure it out, they haven't got enough developers to jump on digitally this year with them, right? So at first it was physically cancelled just because of COVID. And so it was going to be a digital event, but now they've cancelled digitally because obviously they just don't have enough to show to make a showcase, maybe, right? Like that's, and what's the point then? You know, waste of money and resources. So I wonder, they're like, okay, so we'll have to re-strategize next year. However, in the meantime, when they're gone, if enough publishers have a very good experience at Summer Game Fest instead, that they sign up that, we'll be here next year again. Like, we will be here next year. We agree to that on these dates. Here we go.
Yeah.
E3 might have the same scenario next summer where they still can't get people on board. And that's when it'll be like, fuck, we've lost it.
Yes. You know? But that is down to the fact that there is too many showcases. And that is the biggest kill for E3. It's you can liken it, I suppose, to streaming services for cinema. Like, right. Because there's so many streaming services now, and you know, you can just watch it and pause it if you want to go get some food or go toilet or whatever, and then go back and press play. It makes the experience much more enjoyable. You also don't have to put up with anyone annoying you on the off chance that happens. And then because of that, now cinema prices for tickets and stuff are going up because they have to make sure that they keep it. But sure, if the prices go up, less people will go because they don't want to risk.
It's a knock-on effect everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah. So it's almost kind of the same. So E3 isn't getting enough people, so they would probably charge the people more because they need the funding to stay open. But then less people go to them because it costs us too much. Well, Summerfest doesn't. So yeah, no, they probably will be gone if we have State of Play, Summerfest, Tokyo Game Show, Xbox Game Show, Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, I think the only thing keeping them going really was Xbox, wasn't it? Because if you don't, most people tuned into E3 to see the big three, and then other publishers started kind of doing their own shows. But now it's like those other publishers, like Activision used to have their own show, Bethesda used to have their own show, but they're part of Xbox now, so then they won't have their own show. So that's, you know, you're reducing the amount. So then it's just Ubisoft. That's the other thing.
The acquisitions play into this as well, don't they?
Yeah, and
big time.
And I think as well, like the organizers of E3. I think they're I don't know which group it is in the US. It's the ones that came up with the rating system for games.
The ESRB.
Yeah. So that's
as a result. Is that as a result of Mortal Kombat?
It could be.
Is Mortal Kombat the reason we have an ESRB rating? I think it is.
And then therefore an E3.
Oh no, Mortal Kombat's been cancelled.
I think it could be.
Boone's fine.
But it's because of they're just like any rating system, like even if it's in the music industry, it's always a bunch of like businessmen and mammies and daddies who are just concerned about the generation. So they're not really. I don't want to speak for everyone in E3. Like I imagine they have loads of people that have worked in the industry, but certainly its roots wasn't in like their deep connection with the industry and knowing how it works. It was more of just like an opportunity to showcase and make a ton of money out of it. Versus someone like Jeff who understands how the industry works and probably doesn't put probably doesn't put any pressure actually on developers trying to showcase, and offers the opportunity for lower end developers as well. And I say the reason Sony pulled out was that the trying to get your demos up and running for E3. Whereas now the PlayStation can have, although they put pressure on it as well, their own teams to try to get a demo in, they have a better understanding of how their teams are getting on and whether or not they'll meet the deadline for the showcase. And I'd say a lot of that plays into it, is that the organizers of E3 just don't know how each of the companies are actually working and the reality of it, and that they can't meet certain deadlines and all this kind of shit. And it just made for uncomfortable and embarrassing moments. Like we seen a ton of E3 embarrassments. I don't recall post E3, like whether it's state of plays or any of those type of events. I don't recall anything embarrassing happening.
No, look, like there'd be ones where you're like, what was the point in that, or that didn't interest me.
No, but like things just crashing.
Yeah.
Like where totally. They have to go. Well, I swear it works. I mean, Stadia maybe.
Much like when Elon Musk threw a rock at the fucking...
Yeah. There hasn't been many of that, which that was some of the charm of E3 too. But, it's not great for developers, I guess.
No,
because that happened a lot for PS3, wasn't it? There was a lot of crashes during the PS3 showcase, which is kind of what wrecked it.
But then you had wonderful moments as well where people take advantage of things like that, where, like, for example, just to give, like, Rocksteady a shout, like, they purposely crashed their E3 presentation. They're like, oh, fuck, and they played it up. But actually, it was a reveal that Scarecrow was going to be the villain of Arkham Knight, right?
Yes.
And they used that because they're like, oh, well, your greatest fear as a developer at E3 is that your presentation's going to crash. So they did it on purpose. Much
Cyberpunk
like
did that, did it?
The game for everyone.
No, that probably just crashed.
Yeah.
That was a thematic warning.
Like, oh, shit. I mean, they should do that for everyone then. Every time your game crashes, you should have just Keanu Reeves walks in the door going, it's okay.
It's okay. It's a glitch.
Because that's kind of how their show went, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so I have two questions then coming off of everything we've just talked about there, right?
Okay.
One of them will branch us off into kind of something else, but one of them is, if E3 is gone forever, and this is not a confirmation, this is just a discussion, but if it is gone forever, let's say it doesn't come back next year and it doesn't get back on its feet after that, that means there can be a discussion as to what was the best E3 ever, because if it's gone, it's done, right? And I would argue that the best E3 ever,
fucking best E3, fucking best conversation, bullcrap.
I don't even think I need to ask. I think the best E3 ever was the reveal of Final Fantasy VII Remake, which happened at E3, and I've never heard a room explode so much. I still watch the reaction videos, that even though I can play the game many times, I still get a kick out of the reactions, the emotional outbursts to that announcement, and that happened at E3, and that's where, like, the magic of E3 used to be.
Yeah,
it just hasn't
that
really
was
been
peak
there.
E3.
Oh man,
it was peak gaming, actually.
Wasn't that like 20 years ago?
Was there a better reveal in your memory at an E3?
I think, well,
it's gonna be different for people, right?
Yeah, I don't know about reveals, but just moments and good showcases in general. Was that one of the E3s that really stood out to me was the year the Project Natal, which was the Kinect, was shown. Right, the showcase for that. Now, obviously, that didn't live up to any of the expectations that they showcased, but that showcase was incredible, and that was a turning point for us. Like, holy shit, Microsoft, like, they have this, like, they just know what the fuck they're doing, you know. We thought they were going to, like, just change the world essentially with this thing, because they had I don't know if you remember that showcase, do you? It's like where they actually talk to the virtual kid on the screen, and like that was amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
And I think
that's it seemed like it was
PlayStation's
going to change everything.
PlayStation's showcase that year and Nintendo's and all three of them was good. That was like a really great E3. It was, when it came to the voting of who won, it was clearly Xbox that year. That one always stood out to me. And then I think the PS4 one, when they did the console and price reveal, I think.
Right.
That was also like a oh fuck moment, because it was just like,
I love those mic drop moments.
yeah, it was like, this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
how the bit where they're like, this is how you share your games on PlayStation
Yeah.
4, and then this is like the step one. Thanks. And like just that alone was just, and then they come out and do their price drop. But those two, and then the Final Fantasy 7 remake, because Final Fantasy 7 remake wasn't the only like awesome reveal in that showcase, was it? There was a couple of really great ones.
It was just the no. I think I remember, like, was it the lads from Easy Allies? They have the funniest reaction to that. If anyone's never seen it, check it out. It's like the inside out version of it. Like Midgar looks just like that, but literally as soon as it ended, they were like, right, E3's over, turn it off, it's done, you know.
yeah
It's like, let's, like,
that was certainly peak E3, I think.
It was. But I also really enjoyed another one that comes to memory, just not in terms of the entire showcase, but when God of War, the 2018, was shown, and Corey Barlog was playing it, but the orchestra were playing like live to what he was playing. And I thought that was a really cool, neat show as well. So, anyway, let us know from your memories. What was your favorite E3? And do you think E3 is gone? Let us know in the comments or get in touch with us. The other question I was going to ask just from that, we were talking about Jeff Keighley, how awesome he is. And he seems to get on really well with the developers. Like, he seems to have a really good relationship with the likes of Hideo Kojima and lots of other people. But how the fuck did Hassan Karaman of Blue Box get him to vouch for him? We still haven't seen Abandoned.
Yeah, I think I saw a tweet.
What the? They put out a tweet to say, sorry, it's going to take us a bit longer.
Yeah, I saw a tweet from him. He was essentially like, lads, just please stop. I can't deal. Like, basically was the summary of that tweet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, them.
Yeah, totally forgot about that.
Yeah, because it's pretty much now like nearly a year since that game was announced. Never mind, like,
it's been abandoned, like, for sure.
It has been. Yeah.
I honestly think
meta as fuck.
I think the whole thing is an artistic expression. I don't think there's and I don't think there's a game coming, actually. I don't know at this point. But I have no idea how, like, what the fuck is going on? Like, how did PlayStation even let this happen? Like, they let them make a demo that was shared on the PlayStation's, like, it just seems like some lad who's like, after convincing them that there's a game coming, but it isn't. And like, all the streamers were waiting to show off this first look at gameplay. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Real-time experience, whatever. And it was a 2-second clip that they had also shown on Twitter.
Yeah.
And that's it. And that was the last anyone saw. Like, is this actually a game?
Well, apparently the prologue
What's going on?
Coming out this month. Is it the prologue coming out this month, or
shit?
I
called, but I mean, it was supposed to come out last year.
I don't believe anything anymore.
That was just
so.
a prologue. Yeah, I don't
although wait, was that tweet on 1st of April? Because like, your band could actually just be April Fools, and I was like,
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't actually out on. I mean, there might have been other tweets put out on April Fool's Day, but no, his thing came out a few days before that.
All right.
What is going on? Hassan, are you real? I'm speaking directly to you now. Yeah, I am now definitely, like, I enjoyed the kind of joking conspiracies about, is it Hideo Kojima, is it not, looking into it and like finding out what the names translate to, and I thought all that was really fun. I enjoyed it. There was a part of me that was like, if it is, I'll believe it, but I don't think it is. Now there's no way it's not Hideo Kojima, because this is just bullshit at this point. Like, it's not even clever anymore. It's just shit.
Well, I think the people may have hyped that. Well, the people have hyped that up a lot.
Oh, I agree. Yeah,
the people hyped it up way too much,
including us. Like,
I
bought into it a lot, where I was like, "This is going to be something special," you know, because there's just too much happening around it.
Fucking because you had
Jeff
Studio.
Yeah. I genuinely at this point I don't even care.
I don't think anyone really. Well, apart from all the people harassing Hassan and all them at Blue Box, I don't think. I think most of the world.
But I don't
probably...
think I could look at. There's always exceptions to the rule, but I don't think anyone who is like pushing at Blue Box or at Hassan Karaman at this point over this game, I don't think they're actually interested in the game. I think they just want to be put out of their misery in terms of knowing what the fuck is it.
Yeah.
And maybe after they play the demo, if it ever comes out, then they'll go, yeah, I'm done now. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think anyone's actually excited for the game because no one knows what the game is. So they just want an answer to their questions. The questions have been like driving everyone crazy, where, you know, they went deeper than the answers probably are. It's going to be very disappointing.
Yeah,
like, it's going to be anticlimactic, probably. But maybe it won't. We'll start like building it up again. Anyway, if anyone's been following that, what do you think about it? Or are you still excited for it? And do you still think maybe there is more to it than there is?
Yeah, maybe we're missing something here.
Maybe we are. Maybe there's
it always reminds me. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because when they did first reveal going through the forest, it was like in a first person view. It always reminds me of that other game. I think it's coming out on Steam, which is first person called. I think it's called Ill.
Oh,
the name of the game,
right?
And it graphically looks horrifically awesome because they showed a bit of gameplay where the guy had like a shotgun and there was some enemy chaps coming at him and he like shot him with the shotgun and it like just missed one of the enemies, but it got enough of the arm that the arm started to slowly peel off, and you could hear the sound. It looked great. But yeah, I keep kind of like thinking that they're the same game, but then Abandoned was Abandoned, so it's obviously not. We actually have gameplay for the game Ill.
Yes, yeah. Plus, Ill it ends with L, but it doesn't start with S. So
that's true, unless the S is still.
It's remember
that?
I do.
We remember all of it.
That's where it all started. Like that's where everyone was like, okay, so this is something then, huh?
Oh yeah, no, that's how much that's how much I abandoned this game, is I forgot about that fucking tweet. Like,
what the fuck is going on? Anyway, before we jump onto the PlayStation tiers and giving our thoughts on all of that, right, which is officially revealed now. We did say that for the crack, we'll do a little segue onto the Oscars. Just when we were talking about award ceremonies in general. Did you see that? Did you see what happened? What everyone's talking about? Justice League.
Oh my god. Justice League.
Zack Snyder's Justice League won an Oscar.
Brilliant.
Oh, the saltiness is just... People are just so pissed. I think what's hilarious is that if you hold up the 2 Oscar-winning DC movies versus the 1 Oscar-winning MCU movie, people are just like fuming. I think it's hilarious at this point.
It is funny. Wait, there's only 2 DC...
Well, from if you want to count just the DCEUs,
right,
the newer ones.
Universe-based movies.
Yeah, because I think most movies that have a Joker in there get some kind of nomination, don't they?
Yeah, there's a good few. Yeah,
Joker's the key to the award.
It seems so. Yeah,
because it's David Ayer's Suicide Squad. Well, David Ayer's Suicide Squad, because it's obviously half of that movie is David Ayer's and the other half is Warner Brothers. But so it's that Suicide Squad, isn't it? And then Zack Snyder.
The other half is those trailer guys, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whoever edits.
Yeah, the editors of the trailers, yeah.
Yeah, they made the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, it's that one and then Zack Snyder's, which is great. And then what was it? Black Panther for
MCU,
the MCU one. How the fuck did Endgame not get?
I have no idea. Or even Infinity War.
I thought it did. I thought Endgame did. I could be totally wrong.
Oh, maybe it did.
I thought it did.
Well, if it didn't, it should have. That Infinity War should have gotten Oscars because those two were.
I know Infinity War didn't. It got nominated a few times, but it didn't.
Yeah, because it was in the same year as Black Panther. Oh,
that was it. Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah. I was fuming. I was like,
it was a bit weird because it was like it was one for like Black Panther's a great movie, but I think wasn't it the award was for like
music.
Soundtrack. Music.
Oh, it was for music.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was up for what would you call it? Ensemble. It was up for ensemble, right? But Infinity War wasn't. And I remember being like, wait, everyone in Black Panther is in Infinity War plus
Yeah.
more.
I
It's
didn't get
it's
that.
a much bigger ensemble. I
Yeah.
didn't understand it. But anyway, that's besides the point. Cool,
Yes.
cool for Snyder Cut. Awesome. Love it. Great.
Yeah.
What a bullshit category though.
Oh, 100%.
Best cheer moment.
Yeah, but not in the last year.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Ever.
It's just
And
so fucking
who
stupid.
picked those moments? Who picked those?
I know.
It was like as if they were just gearing towards. It's like, will we just give either the Snyder Cut or No Way Home an Oscar? But we'll need to throw in a few more just in case, you know.
Yeah, like how was it
where
not?
Did they pick those?
Yeah,
What
should
were the
it
rest
should
of
have
the
been.
movies?
Well, it was the bullet time from the original Matrix,
Okay.
Yeah,
and then
There
like
was
a singing moment from Dreamgirls.
and then there
And
was
then-
one more
Yeah, it was
Um,
the Avengers Assemble from Endgame.
from Endgame.
Right? It's like where what?
In the grand scope
How would you
of-
pick those moments?
So they said like best cheer moment of all time in cinema.
How
was
are
actually
Riders
what
of
it
the
was for.
Rohirrim not in there? If we're talking,
Yeah,
if we're
that's what I'm
talking the
thinking.
entire span of
Like,
movie history,
An Oscar is usually for the last year.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing where I'm like, it's great. However, it's bullshit. It is bullshit.
oh, 100% is bullshit. It should have been right. Okay, it should have been the Justice League, No Way Home, the new Matrix. If you wanted to fucking pick
Include
something
the
from that,
Matrix,
if you wanted
yeah.
to, probably I don't know, Godzilla and Kong or something. I don't know,
or
just-
No Time to Die, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's It
The staircase sequence, right?
Yeah, but the only thing is, I think the category is supposed to be for not
The
cinema.
moment.
you know?
The moment.
Oh
when
yeah, no, it's
when
the fans
are.
when the fans
yeah.
go.
Yeah, it's
There-
supposed, it's
there
supposed to
is-
be I think it's a good category. It's
Yeah.
it's a bit like the Game Awards one where it's the People Choice Award essentially. That's what it is.
Yes.
I
You
think
get-
it's a
it-
good category, but it should have
gets
been
the
movies from
people
last year.
involved. Oh yeah. That's weird because Riders of Rohirrim, or even when Sam is going, I can't carry it for you, but I will carry you, and the fucking music kicks up and everything. Like,
No, but also like, so what? There's no cheer moment in the entire Star Wars saga. Are you kidding me? When
Yeah,
Luke catches that lightsaber and ignites it green for the first fucking time.
It seems to be
Come
like
on.
movies in movie history. I mean, there's
Are you kidding me? Like,
So
where do
many-
you draw that line? Like, that's ridiculous.
like
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
it was stupid. I just
When
think
when Batman sprays that fucking shark with the shark,
Repellent spray.
repellent spray.
amazing.
you know you cheered at that.
Oh no, both categories were silly. I just think it's funny the reactions to it though. You know what I
But
mean?
also, it was only open to Twitter, and it was only open
Yeah.
to US Twitter users.
No, it wasn't. I voted every day.
I voted too, but apparently they said they only counted US Twitter users.
Oh really?
Apparently, I mean, I don't know.
I don't think so. That just sounds
I
like
read that in an article.
I think that sounds like salt. Because there's a bunch
Oh,
of
that's someone like saying,
yeah.
well, if I had been worldwide, it
Yes.
would have been the three Spider-Man, right?
There's a
Okay,
lot of
sure.
finger pointing here to kind of cause blame, but I think it's just that a lot of the people who wanted, let's say, No Way Home to win didn't actually participate, and it's like, oh, that's on you then.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Is the Flash sequence, is that the cheer moment of that movie?
Of that movie,
Yeah, because I don't think it is.
Well, for
I
me,
think it is.
I don't think that's something you cheer for. I think it's a moment that you're in awe of. Your jaw drops and you go, "Wow!"
Well, I
Don't go,
wish
yes. The yes moment is when Superman comes in.
maybe, but I mean, I wish I had a camera filming my reaction when I first saw it because
Sure.
I was like,
oh yeah,
like I was, it was like it was like the Final Fantasy VII remake reveal for me. I was like jumping on my couch, like just like both baffled, in awe, in amazement, fucking and cheering. Like that was for me. That was the peak of that film.
but yeah, no, I'd say I'd be with Chris in that. I think Superman's landing is a much more way moment.
like a cheer moment.
But I
right?
but, I,
It's-
get,
it's
but I
like,
get it by the importance of Flash's moment because of how
yes.
butchered he was in, and just how much that entire movie was
See,
butchered in 2017. Like, and I think
I think the Flash moment is similar to Neo's bullet dodge moment in terms of just
Oh, really?
when you look at cinema. I
Okay.
don't mean in terms of like I'm emotional watching this. I just mean in terms of like, Wow.
Yeah, because I
I've
didn't
never
get that
seen
even
before.
even when I
But
first.
I don't think that Matrix bullet dodge is the cheer moment of the Matrix.
Oh God, no.
It's not.
No. It's
You don't go, yeah. That's not like.
No. In fact, I don't know if the Matrix has one.
Honestly, looking at those 5, when I think of a cheer moment, the ones that were picked, and again, I think the category is bullshit, and whatever they picked, like, it doesn't make sense. There's no barometer for it. But honestly, Avengers Assemble is the most cheer moment.
Yeah, well, on a personal level, I just had more with.
Yeah,
of course,
But
yeah.
I think if you were thinking about the whole world, it sounds as though because people aren't happy with the Justice League, it sounded like people wanted the 3 Spider-Man appearance
They
to be
want
the winner.
Spider-Man No Way
But
Home, I think.
if it was between the 2 Marvel movies, I'd agree that it's the Cap saying Avengers Assemble. Like, how could it
and
not
the music cue? Yeah, of course it is. Come on, and like
was...
the climax of the MCU at that point, every character all on screen at once running into battle. You know, it's like that's it. Anyway, it's interesting. Maybe other people agree with the 5 choices as well. That if they were going to pick 5 moments from cinema history, that those are the 5. I think it's weird, but
I probably would put. Out of all of them, I think the only one that actually deserves to be in that category, if you're looking through cinema history, is probably the Endgame one.
Yeah,
I would get rid of the rest
on
of them.
On an objective level.
Yeah.
Because that is a cinema moment.
Yeah, because you're
with it for 10 years,
building up to this moment.
That moment, yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. But
that
Riders from Rohan,
just
Pelennor needed to be in there.
Absolutely,
but
100%.
That is the thing. But that they are on par with each other.
Yeah, that is a cheer moment. Because it's a climax of a series and everything coming together.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Like, again, on a personal level, I am glad that the Flash moment got that recognition. I love that moment. It's the best moment of the movie, 100%. But just based on the description of the category, I just think it's weird. But,
it's very, very weird. Because it's very few films and insane within the 100 plus years of cinema. It's these 5.
Yeah, it's odd. It's fucking odd.
So that, of course, is what everyone was talking about the Oscars last week.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
So that was the big talking point of the Oscars. So moving on.
It was a complete, yeah. I mean, seeing that must have been a real slap to the face.
Absolutely. Yeah. Must have rocked the world. Okay, so moving on then. Back to gaming. We can talk about Project Spartacus, which is now just 3 tiers of PlayStation Plus. Yeah, right, Eric.
Yeah, no, I just we're probably the only people to go onto the Oscars and talk about actual Oscars and the awards.
Oh right, yeah, and just completely avoid.
Yeah, because I mean, everyone else, all like, I mean, the amount of memes and shit, the amount of jokes, all the radio hosts were
I just don't have the will to make another joke about it. I just don't.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
So it's no longer called Spartacus. It has been unveiled as it's PlayStation Plus, but there's 3 tiers now. There's PlayStation Plus Essential, PlayStation Plus Extra, and PlayStation Plus Premium. So you could check them out to see what's included in each tier. But basically, the Essential tier is PlayStation Plus as it is.
Yes.
As it exists now. PlayStation Extra will cost more. And it will include everything in the Essential tier as it is, but it will also include 400 downloadable PS4 and PS5 games.
Yep.
And then PlayStation Premium will include everything in those last 2 tiers, but it will also include downloadable classic games from the PS1, PS2, and PSP. You can also stream those games, which you can't do on the other tiers. And there will be try before you buy game trials.
And streaming on PS3 games as well.
And streaming PS3 games, which you will not be able to download. Actually, you won't be able to download PlayStation 3 games. You'll only be able to stream them. Why is that, first of all? Adam, do you know, because you are more tech savvy than us, please fill us all in. Why can't you download the PlayStation 3 games, but you can the PS1, PS2, and PSP?
So there's two ways in console history as to how you get how you can play last generation games, right? There's either emulation through software, or there is you actually build the previous processor into your console, right?
Mhm.
So that's what the PS2 did. The PS2 had the PS1 processor in it, so it was able to play PS1 games. The original PS3 had the PS2 and PS1 processor in it, so it was able to play those previous games.
Okay.
I think the PS3 actually software emulated PS1 games. But in order to software emulate, your current console has to run essentially a program to pretend to be the previous console.
Yeah, an emulator.
Right? So you're now running an emulator while also trying to run the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So that takes up a lot of power.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the PS3's particular architecture was pretty bonkers, that cell processor one. They shot themselves in the foot with that a little bit.
Okay.
Even today, there's not a single PC that can do it like properly, like 100%. They can get close, but the closest I think is 66% per game, not like 66% of the catalog, like 66% emulation per game. And that's talking about like the highest end machine you can fucking build, which is like a couple of grand. So the PS5 is not powerful enough to emulate a PS3.
Okay. Jesus, that's fucking nuts, isn't it?
Yeah.
The other thing I suppose worth noting is that this, a lot of people are calling it like a Game Pass competitor. I suppose it has been kind of done in response to the success of Game Pass. But one thing it's not going to do, and they did clarify that, and we did suspect that, is that brand new PlayStation Studio games will not be on it day one.
Yeah.
However, I do think that's possibly where the game trials will come in. They might let you play, like, here is 2 hours of our brand new game.
Yeah.
But now to get it, you got to go buy it. But you'll keep your progress in maybe that 2 hours that you had from the start of the game. But here is, you could try it before you buy it. Because that would make more sense. Like, I don't see why you would have try before you buy game trials for any of the other games that are available in the subscription.
Oh yeah,
you know
no,
what I mean?
it's
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So to me, that says that is for
The new
games. So like say by time to have it up and running, maybe there will be a God of War Ragnarok trial. Try it out. If you like it, now you can buy it full price, support the game. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Try out that co-op and everything, yeah?
Yeah, try the co-op. There's no co-op in God of War Ragnarok. It's also not coming out in the summer. It's coming out holiday 2022. Mark these words. I fucking told you Legend of Zelda wasn't coming out this year. I fucking told you.
I didn't disagree with you.
Adam did. He said, "Are you working for Nintendo or something?" Yes, I am. No, I'm not. I'm not. That's a lie. But what do we think of the tiers then? Like, do we think they're fairly priced? A strange thing to even do 3 tiers, or what do you think?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they should have gotten rid of the essential, and extra should be the first package.
And then price it at the essential.
And price it at essential.
And then the premium one, price it at the extra one.
Correct.
Because 114 quid. Are you kidding me? I could probably buy a kidney for that.
Yeah, but in saying that, like, actually, that's not bad.
So it's 120
quid a year.
Euro a year. That's we're talking euro now. Anywhere else you look up, you're going to see the dollars, but we'll talk euro because that's our currency.
10,250 yen.
Yeah, no, it's euro is our currency, even though other people don't want to believe that. Yes, Ireland uses the euro. No sterling here. But it depends then, isn't it? It's 120 a year, but it's more if you decide to pay monthly.
Yeah, like it's so.
Like if you break that down, so 120 a year, divide that by 12 months, is only 12 euro. No, it's only 10 euro a month.
Yeah, so like
that's pretty good.
The comparison with Game Pass, it's hard to tell. Like, I mean, this is a horrible way to reveal it. Is through a blog post.
Yes.
The reveal sucked ass.
Yes, it did.
It's like, how many people actually know about this, really, unless you're really into gaming? Like, how's the average person going to know about this? At least Game Pass is
Why wasn't it a video?
I don't know.
There is a state of play for you because you can
Oh yeah, that should have been a state of play.
advertise it, and then showcase through videos and stuff
Some of the
what each
games
thing
that
means.
we're going to see.
And how
Yeah,
to
exactly.
how the
Like,
service
fuck,
works.
I want to play that. I want to play that. I want to play that.
Yeah,
You know what I
like
mean?
maybe they
that's
will,
a state
though.
of play. Hopefully,
will.
because it was really badly. It was like
Yeah.
Yeah.
They might just before it launches to be able to like this might be just for really journalists and stuff. This kind of reveal.
Possibly.
Because it's still a bit like, well, what is it though? Like, what does the service look like? Is the PlayStation? Is it going to look like the PlayStation Now service? So are all PS Plus users now having that PlayStation Now service, which is now being rebranded as PS Plus? And in terms of the games available, well, what are we talking here? Like, what are they, and how often do they get like rotated? This is the first time. I don't know. Could PS4 download PS1, PS2, and PSP games?
with PlayStation Now, you were able to download some PS3 games and stuff like that.
No, not PS3.
You could only stream.
Oh
them.
no, you could only stream them. Sorry.
Well, the other ones though, could you download them, or were they stream only?
I thought you could download
PS2.
them and then continue to play them while you had your subscription. I don't know.
What about PSP?
I don't know anything about that. I didn't use PS Now. I used it for like 2 months,
Yeah.
and I thought it was an awful service, and I didn't use it.
But that sounds new to me. Like, I think the PS2 games that you could download were the ones. Remember, there was a handful of classics put up on the store anyway,
Yeah.
Yes.
and I think those were the only ones you could actually download. The others you had to stream. I can't remember there being PlayStation 1 games or PSP games.
Well, apart from like, there's a handful of PS1 as well, because there was like you could get Final Fantasy VII, the original, on
Yeah,
PS4 and stuff like that. But
but that's
and
the
Resident Evil as well. There was a couple.
yeah,
of
but were they not the PS4 releases of those games? Like, is that not the one with where you're able to turn on the mods?
Yes.
Oh, that's true, actually,
It
yeah.
was the one where you could turn on the cheats and everything. And for Resident Evil, it was the HD remaster.
Yeah.
So
is it actually that we're going to get those versions as well?
No, I think this is, and that's a new thing then. We've never seen this before. This wasn't even available on Now, really. Was PlayStation 2, PSP, as far as I know,
That's exciting.
definitely wasn't, because that means, like,
That's exciting for that one game, really.
Yeah,
Well-
Golden Abyss. No, Loco Roco. Yeah.
well, no, you wouldn't get those. Well, you get Loco Roco, but you wouldn't get Golden Abyss because it's excluding PS Vita games, which is unfortunate. I think they should.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah,
actually
that
excluding PS Vita?
Yeah,
That's silly.
yeah. But
But
there are
we'll also
still
get-
some pretty cool PSP games. So
You got Crisis Core, right?
no,
Yeah, Christ.
no.
What do you mean,
won't.
no?
You won't.
Yes, you will.
No, you won't. You won't. Yeah, I know it sucks.
Of course you will.
No,
what,
you
what are you
won't.
talking about? Get the fuck out of here.
You
What
won't.
do you mean you won't?
You won't.
Are you working for PSP?
Yeah, man.
No. What? What do you mean? Why not?
Well,
that wasn't a Vita.
No, it wasn't on Vita. It was on PSP, but it was never released digitally.
But can't they?
If I fucking wish they would, because I had a Vita, and that was like the only game I would have loved to have played on it. But
How sick would it be if they did this?
oh, if they did that, that'd be great. But I don't think they will. So the only way you could play that game was you had to have the UMD disc and an original PSP. That was the only way you could play it.
Man,
It's like
Because
the
even
Metal Gear
the-
Solid 4 of
Even the PSP,
PSP.
Go,
it's the
which,
Twin Snakes PSP.
yeah, it is. But like even the PSP Go was the full digital version. You couldn't get Crisis Core on it because they never released it digitally on the store. It's so annoying.
Yeah, but then you
You've
also have to take
disheartened
into
me a
account-
little bit.
Yeah, okay. But Chris,
Yeah,
let's
go
take
on.
into account
Help me.
that Crisis Core, along with every other product of Final Fantasy VII, is being released with Ever Crisis, so you'll still get it. You still have it portable.
That's true. That is true.
You know what I mean?
He's right.
Whenever that comes out.
Whenever that comes
But
up.
maybe when they were looking at Crisis Core again, in order to remake it, maybe they were able to like format it into a digital copy. I don't know. There's
know.
conversations
You
that
can have-
happen over there, right?
have-
like
you
I
can have
I
hope.
can dream. Can I
But
dream?
like, I'd love
Surely
to know.
they talk over there.
I'd love to know
Somebody
how
has to
many
talk to
of
each
these
other.
games are actually available. Like, it's obviously not going to be the entire catalog of all these games.
No, but it sounds like a lot, right?
But it says as well that offers cloud streaming access for original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in extra and premium tiers in markets where PlayStation Now is currently available. So
Yeah,
this,
that's because of not every country has the ability to stream.
yeah. Well, I would say no country has the ability to stream, because even if you have really great internet, it's a shoddy experience.
But the ones that you could download, then that would work like a Game Pass game.
Yeah, okay. I think that would be the better method
So, like,
to go.
for example, the PS3 games, you probably won't get to fucking play them.
You don't get to play them, man.
But the other ones, you probably would. So, are any of these tiers in any way appealing to either of you?
Well, now that actually, because of me and my stinginess with money, now that you broke it down, the 120 quid is not that much. Yeah,
If you save up for it, because that's only if you pay for it. You have to pay for that in one go.
Oh
right?
yeah,
So you put a tenner a month aside, blah 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 blah. You've saved up for it, and then versus if you pay monthly, it's €17
more.
a month.
Yeah, which is obviously way more.
That's a lot.
It is a lot.
month,
But the thing
that's
is,
a lot.
because the comparison with Game Pass here, and Game Pass sounds better because it's like what
Because it is.
13 a month, and he gets the latest games.
Yeah.
But Game Pass doesn't offer a yearly option, and I think if you add it up, it comes to like 180, 190 a year or something like that. Versus this premium is 120 a year. So this is actually cheaper, and I think 120 is like a game and a half.
Oh yeah, no, I kind of when I looked at it that way, like
in
when
a year.
I was like 17 a month. I was like, that's too much.
It is,
especially if you're not going to use it all the time. 120 a year, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
It's not bad.
I can get past that. Especially if you are spending like 70 to 90 quid on a game. Sometimes people, 120 is nearly the price of most like special editions and things when you're really into a game. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there you go. But I think anyone who on Game Pass side, this is where the console war will be back in the form of subscription war.
Subscription services.
Yeah. We'll be conscripted into war with subscriptions. But I suppose the Game Pass side will always be able to say, yeah, but you still have to pay extra for the new games. It's fucking shit, like.
Yeah.
Versus you get Starfield day one. That's where the extra comes in.
There is that, but like I said, we talked about this before when we had Howland on. Michael Howland. What was that, like last year before? I can't fucking remember how long ago that was when we talked
months ago. Check out 12 Gauge Outrage, guys.
It was
we were talking when he indoctrinated all you to get
into Game Pass, and it was
someone needs to pay that, man.
Is that the episode sponsored by Game Pass? Is that the name of it?
Probably.
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah.
Well, the question he asked us, would we want to see PlayStation do something like this? And I said no, I wouldn't want to see them do this, because I think that their exclusives would take a hit.
Which is what Jim Ryan said.
Which, that was his explanation for it. And I actually agree. I think if he did include these game day one, the quality would drop like dramatically. But I think it's like you either go all in or don't do it at all then. But the thing is, like, yes, you can get day one on Xbox, the exclusives. But there is I think we can all agree the quality is, like, they're good, but they're not PlayStation Studios good.
No, I've always felt that way.
Yeah.
That was always like the reason I bought PlayStation.
So it's like
my favorite games.
Yes,
are those
you don't
PS
get
exclusives.
them day one, but the price of a year of premium plus a PlayStation Studio game is the price of a Game Pass year.
Sure.
So it's kind of works out the same that way. But I do think they should have rearranged these a little bit, because PlayStation Plus Essential remaining as is. I would have added some of the extra, maybe not all of it, but some of it into the PlayStation Plus Essentials tier.
I think that would have done a lot of favors for just like the kind of public persona and with people, get people on board.
Yeah.
From a business standpoint, however, basically they want you to pay more.
Yes.
So they're going, make the next tier the one that everyone is going to want to do, and
but
we'll end up doing away with that low tier eventually.
Yeah, but instead of it being $8.99 a month, right? Make PlayStation Plus Essential a tenner a month, and put the 400 games or whatever the PS4 games are available in the Essentials. right?
Mhm.
Then in your extra, then that's where you get the PS5 games plus the PS1, PS2, and whatever, and that's the 14 a month. And then in the premium, yes, you can keep it at your 17 a month, but also include the games that have launched from PlayStation on PC.
Oh yeah.
So that way you have a PC tier too, because the thing is with Game Pass is that the benefits of it is that you can get the one where you have Xbox Game Pass for both console and PC.
Yeah.
And that's an area that PlayStation is really lacking. But they do have games on PC. They've launched Death Stranding and God of War and Horizon
Forbidden West, and
So-
Ghost of Tsushima will get there.
There's more games coming out, and they could easily do a game with Steam. Do a deal with them, like, and say, well, any of our members in this tier, they get those games.
Yeah.
I that's how I would have done this, and I think it would have evened out then a bit because you're technically charging more for the essentials package, an extra £2, and it gets you the PS4 games then.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't know yet what list of games will be included. What games? No, and I don't mean fucking go through 300 fucking games here now. But what are some games you would hope to see in there that you're like, oh fuck yeah, I want to jump in and play that again, or be able to jump in and play that on my new console. So,
Well, the quadrilogy of Metal Gear Solid.
oh yeah, I meant like ones that aren't, like that. Yeah, they're there. Are you kidding me?
Oh, they're definitely there.
If they're not there, like there's gonna be war. Metal Gear Solid is going to be in there.
Yep.
100%.
I want.
And
all
I would,
four of them.
and all of the PlayStation era Final Fantasies, I would think the PlayStation era Resident Evils, Silent
GTA.
Hill,
Tekken 3.
Tekken 3, motherfucker,
Yeah.
that's gonna be in there. But are there any games that genuinely might not be in there that you would love to see in there?
Yeah.
Like it's not so definite that you'll see it. That you're like, I hope it's there. Same as it's like I hope Final Fantasy X is there, right? And it will be.
Yeah.
And that'll be there for people who've never played Final Fantasy X. However, I have Final Fantasy X remastered, so it's fine. And actually that one will probably be there because that's a PS4 game as well. That's the one that'll probably be in there. That's fine. I can get that. What games can you not get on new systems do you hope are going to be in those tiers? That's the question. Adam, you're nodding away there.
The Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers, the Return of the King, and the Third Age.
Yeah, baby. You see, now you're talking.
If they were there, no,
They might not be
probably not. I mean,
But they
wouldn't have the rights for them, so I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, there's difficulty there, right?
Yeah,
like that you can't get Lego Lord of the Rings anymore.
No.
So that's an interesting one. And like those Lego games, man, they're popular. This week, Skywalker Saga is releasing. Hey,
That's true.
I get that. Yeah, that's a good shout.
I
Eric,
would subscribe if you had them. I would subscribe.
Are you listening? Are you listening?
Yeah,
Put them on there. Eric, is there any games that you're like, man, if that was on there? Not that it would be an automatic subscription, but you would love to see it in there.
No, not really coming to mind. I have most of them, or can get most of them anyway.
Okay, lucky for you.
Like the Final Fantasy games you can get them now. The Metal Gear Solid games you can get.
Yeah, except one. So that has to be in there. And just one has to be. You can't get that anyway.
I'd love to see Tomorrow Never Dies in there.
Man, what a fucking shout.
Or like Agent Under
know-
Fire or whatever it was called.
Those 007 games?
Yeah, that'd be
They
cool.
would be right crack. I would love to see, and these genuinely are not definite to be in there. Mortal Kombat Deception.
Oh, that would be great. I would
Put that in there.
Conquest,
right?
I would against Conquest.
And fucking like the original Tekken Tag Tournament.
Yeah.
X-Men Mutant Academy.
Oh, damn.
Soul Calibur 2. Those PS2 era fighting games were the shit, man.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them in there.
Fucking Time Crisis 2.
How the fuck?
There's no way that would work.
How would you play that?
I don't know.
Would you play that?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Don't get me
If they-
wrong. If they could
manage-
do it.
No. You know what they do with that now, right? You know what they do with that game?
Put on VR.
Yeah, go on.
Put on VR. That'd be
Oh,
fucking amazing.
I don't understand how there hasn't been a Time Crisis for VR.
Actually,
That'd
why
be
isn't
class.
there? Maybe there will be. There should be a VR section in here as well. VR games included in the tier.
Yeah,
That you can pay. That if you buy a
be.
PSVR 2 and you just pay subscription, you'll get your VR games because they're
Mm.
never big enough as full price games anyway.
Yeah, that would be
That would be cool.
a winner for VR, really.
Yeah,
And they would make more money out of it if they did it that way. So yeah,
I'll
that's
probably
what
pick
should
that
be
up.
in the premium, Chris. VR games.
yeah, I
They
think
should-
so.
they
Yeah,
should
I think
just
that makes
bump
sense.
And a
some of
VR
these-
headset.
Bump some of these down a little bit, and
Yeah.
slot PC and VR in the premium, and now you've got something that's actually not half-arsed, because that's what this feels like. This feels like, all right, we hear you, here you go. Happy now? Like, that's what this feels like.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's all totally figured out.
No.
Well, it doesn't feel like they like with Game Pass. To me, sounds like Phil Spencer, loves gaming, loves the industry, and loves gamers, and that's the type of experience he wants, and therefore, like, who doesn't want that? Whereas I just think Jim Ryan is just like, oh, our stonks are low. What would we do? Well, Game Pass seems kind of cool. Is there any way we could try it without actually putting effort in, though?
That'll do.
That'll fine. Yeah, let's do that. Like,
That'll do, donkey.
that's what it just seems like. And the fact that
Sure.
they just released it as a blog, it's like,
Where's the showmanship? Come on, where's the showmanship?
lads.
This is showbiz. This is entertainment, guys. Come on. Where's
get
the pizzazz?
get Jeff Keighley on this, right? He
Come
just
on,
do a winking
get
face.
Jeff in here.
Everyone will
Come
know what he
on.
says. It'll be amazing.
what they need is Kevin Butler back. That's what they need.
Yeah, get him in. Any
Get him
other
in.
games then that you want to see in there before we finish up this episode? Any other games?
Devil May Cry 2.
Yeah, I mean that's one that might not. Well, there's a DMC collection though, isn't there? Isn't there a trilogy collection? That'll probably be in there then.
Yeah, but I don't know. Do they include like they might
Two's
with
in
that? Oh, do they have two? I
It's
thought they would
DMC
have.
1, 2, and 3.
I thought they probably just did 1, 3, and 4, just considering everyone hates 2.
No, it's in there. It's in there.
Okay.
It's the only way they can sell 2 is if they package it with 1 and 3.
I think the OG Tomb Raiders, I'd love to see, like 1 to 3.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Which they might have like maybe 1 or something like that. That might be included, but they're actually really fun, and they're janky as fuck, but they're fun to play.
I think now that I'm older, more experienced, I'd probably be able to actually get past the start of 1.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like
you
it's been
slide
so
down
long
a
since you
hill.
played it.
I
You
think
slide down a hill, and then I'm like, I don't know where I go.
if you want to like really appreciate games of today, play Tomb Raider 1.
Yeah.
Like it's so weird seeing how it was built, and you can actually see the decisions they've made as you're playing it. It's like there's no background ever, right? There's like a couple of walls and a few steps ahead of you, but it's just constantly black. And as you're running, then you start to see the environment, but there's no sky. For example, there's never a sky. It's just black because of the technology back then and stuff. It's really fun to play it and kind of go, oh my god, like look how wonky all of this is, but it's beautiful.
And it'll also get major props from me if we get like Hot Wheels Turbo Racing in there. If we get
Give me food, give me fag, give me da.
the Tarzan game, if we get that in there, motherfucker.
Actually,
yeah.
the Disney
You gotta
classics would be cool.
Slide on those trees
Hercules.
and get those rings. You know what I'm saying? Hercules, the game. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's actually like a huge catalog
Of really
pull
shit
from.
great games.
of shit great games. Medieval, put that on there. Serious Sam, get the Serious Sam games. No, not Serious Sam. What the fuck am I talking about? That's PC. Duke Nukem. Get the Duke Nukem games in there. Land of the Babes. Fucking yeah. So come on. Let us know what game, like a classic game from the back catalog, and not the obvious ones, right? We know Metal Gear Solid, Resident Evil. We know they're gonna be in there. We know that.
Yep.
The ones that aren't obvious, that might not be there. Like maybe you're more of a Deadly Alliance guy than a Deception guy. Let us know. What games would you love to see in the tier that would actually make you go, you know what? Fuck yeah, I'm jumping in. I'm playing that. Let us know, right? So if you're watching this on YouTube, jump down in the comments to share your thoughts, and you can also share your thoughts on anything else that we brought up throughout the discussion, like is E3 gone? What's going on with Abandoned? All that stuff. Please let us know. And if you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and click that notification bell for all of our future episodes. If you listen to us on audio platforms, then you can also touch base with us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Brothers Take to give your take on everything that we brought up here today. Thank you very much for tuning in and checking this out. We'll be back to talk to you guys about more gaming topics next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.